Well, several people sent me stories about their pets for this service, but as I was sitting in my study this week, I thought, oh my gosh, we've got a lot going on in the service. We'll only have time for one story. Now I look and see that I'm a really bad planner of 45-minute services. I can get the 1-hour services on the nose, but 45 minutes must be too much of a challenge for me. So we might have had time for another story, and I'll go get another one for the second service. But today we have one story, and this is Charlene Baker's story, and she gave me permission to tell it for her since she can't be here this morning. Charlene and Bob Baker are members of the church who joined in the 1960s, and throughout the 1970s and early 80s, they ran our high school group, La Amicoy, and were very involved in the church. But they got older. And last fall, Bob died. He'd been married to Charlene for 58 and a half years, and they loved each other very much, and she missed him a lot. Also, he'd been ill and then disabled for several years, and she had taken care of him. So when Bob died rather suddenly, Charlene found herself sad and exhausted and miserable. And also, suddenly it seemed to her like the days were very long and there was nothing very interesting to do. It was a really hard time. And that's how it is when love ends. When Christmas time came, she didn't feel like celebrating. Her grown kids were coming back to Albuquerque to keep her company for the holiday, and she was glad to see them, but she just couldn't quite get it together to put up a tree or have decorations. She just didn't have the heart for it. When her kids arrived on Christmas Eve, they decided that they needed a few decorations, and they made a run to Albertsons to get a few things to decorate. And when they got home, they had decorations, and they also had a puppy. A really young puppy. It had turned out there had been a family in the parking lot of Albertsons trying to give away a litter of puppies. Trying to get rid of them. There was one left, and Charlene's daughter Janine felt like she better take that last one because she wasn't sure quite what would happen to it if somebody didn't take it. And so she thought she would see that it got a good home. But by the time she got back to Charlene's house, she had decided that she would give that puppy a good home. That's how love works, right? It looked like a little pit bull mix. And that little puppy gave that sad family a much nicer Christmas. And they named her Holly because, it was Christmas time. And the day after Christmas, they took Holly to the vet, and he pronounced her healthy, but way too young to have been taken away from her litter. The vet told Janine that if she wanted a well-socialized dog, she was going to have to get a second puppy, or even a third puppy, because otherwise the puppy would grow up not knowing how to be a dog. Oh yes, and by the way, he said, to take a dog on an airplane, the dog has to be at least 8 weeks old. So, of course, Janine herself had to go back to work after Christmas. So Charlene agreed that she would not only take care of Holly for 6 weeks, but she would get another puppy or two so they could all be properly socialized together. Now that's mother love for you, don't you think? So that's how Holly became Holly, Ivy, and Nick. And you know what? It turns out that it's hard to be sad when you have 3 puppies rolling around your house. And it's even harder to be lethargic when there's so much cleaning up to do. And also, it's hard to have a hurting heart when you have 3 puppies helping it heal. On Valentine's Day, Charlene took Holly to Janine, and then she turned right around and came home to Ivy and Nick, who stayed with her. Of course, she still misses Bob a lot, every day. But she started to move forward on that long path of healing from grief, and grief, of course, is the loss of a love. She thinks of Ivy and Nick as an integral part of her mental health. Ivy and Nick are healer mixes, and they're great big dogs now, at 70 pounds, etc. And they have brought joy and love and meaning into Charlene's house, and that's one thing that animals are really good at, aren't they? We're grateful for the animals in our lives and also for the animals in the lives of the people we love. So we're going to bless the animals who are with us this morning. The blessing will be a back and forth between you and me, and if you weren't able to bring an animal this morning, or if you have an animal in your life from past that you want to especially picture, you can be holding that animal in your mind and heart right now. So the blessing will be a back and forth between you and me, and when it comes your turn, you're going to respond to my words with these words. Creatures of the earth, we bless you and thank you. You want to give that a try? Creatures of the earth, we bless you and thank you. All right. So if you've got a creature with you, make sure you put your hand on him or her, and we'll go through this blessing. We give thanks for the animals who are a part of our lives, who give us food and clothing, who play their part in the great web of life, who delight us with the wonder of their being. Creatures of the earth, we bless you and thank you. We give thanks for the animals who are a part of our lives, for the animals who help us, worker animals who guard us and find our lost and companion the disabled, who serve in war and who work alongside us. And we give thanks for animals who give their lives to help us learn. Creatures of the earth, we bless you and thank you. We give thanks for the special animals we call pets, for our childhood pets who taught us to love and to cry, for our children's pets who help us to teach them responsibility and relationship, and for the pets who brighten our days and comfort our nights. Creatures of the earth, we bless you and thank you. And now we continue to bless the pets we have brought with us, or the pets we're thinking of this morning. I invite you to picture your pet in your mind's eye, or place your hand on them now and bless them like this. This is how you do a blessing. You put your hand on them or near them, or if you think of them, you call them by name and you say, I bless you. I will take care of you. I love you. So since I'll be blessing my dog, who isn't here this morning because he howled all the way through the service last year, I'm going to say, as I'm thinking of him, Mosby, I bless you. I will take care of you. I love you. Are you all ready to do this? You who have pets this morning? Here we go, all together now. All right. Let's sing together.